Hello and welcome to this episode number 8, the Necromite of Myrkul. Quite interesting story to tell there. And we're here together again with RedOneArt. Our TTRPG art talks are quite a thing every Monday at 8 PM Central European Time. So take it away, Petra, because RedOneArt, as you had something to tell about the character.
Yes, hello everybody and welcome back. Today we're going to talk about the Necromite of Myrkul. Sansji, do you already know Myrkul?
Just a wee bit. I know that he's also known as the Lord of Bones, like the undead. Quite interesting for D&D. Though, in the adventures that I partook in, one of my characters that had a religion and being a bit of a fan, or perhaps not much of a fan, entangling with the deity itself, I more or less did wing some stuff and to try and make it more interesting, because there's not much known actually. If you go and Google Myrkul, like there's some standard know-abouts, but other than some jibber-jabber, nothing much fancy.
Yeah, that's true indeed. He indeed has the name the Lord of Bones, next to some other names as the Reaper, the Deathless Lord of Death, or just the Lord of Death. He's one of the Dead Three talked about in Baldur's Gate, presented to Avernus. What actually means he's one of the 3 dead gods that are mainly centered about. There are more gods centered on the domain of death, but those 3 has a very interesting look on things. Last time we talked about Baal, which is the god of murder, easily connected to death as he is taking care of a lot of deaths in the realm. Myrkul, on the other hand, is a step into death in the way that he likes to control souls and the undead. He claims power over corpses and souls, and he has a very interesting ways to do that. He has, for example, power to call forth the soul of any slain creature and bind it into a wax skull.
A wax sculpture or a weapon, or sorry, I didn't quite get that one.
Oh, sorry, a wax skull. And he uses
so it's skull made of wax, like earwax, wax from bees?
That they don't specifically tell about.
Wax? Not boats?
Yeah.
Sorry, I'm just surprised.
No,
it's not you.
They are. He claims some part of the creature's physical body, grinds it up, and creates a skull that includes the resulting dust. So, I think with wax they mostly sort of refer to any material connected together with the dust and that they use to make it. And this is interesting because he uses a part of the body and connects the soul with it. He can, like, the soul's trapped in that, and he can answer. They can answer questions that Myrkul is asking them, and sharing their knowledge. Because Myrkul is actually a very smart deity. He's wanting to know more, maybe to help himself or anything. That's not very specified.
No, they just mentioned that he has a love for knowledge, but no really apparent reason why.
No. So I think they just leave that a little bit because the ways of gods can be very unpredictable, and they always have their own plans and stuff like that. So I think they do it a little bit open for the DM, so they can create any kind of plot with that.
Yeah, the deities seem to be really open to imagine stuff.
Mm-hmm. But the creating of like a skull to do something with it, it's very also popular under his worshippers, what we're going to talk a little bit about today. So we're making one.
Yeah, she's not gonna be your sweet old grandma.
No. Why we're actually making a Necromite of Myrkul, even though there is already a art piece for this creature, so to say, is that we want to give any DM some variety in it.
Creature? Is it human or is it like monstrous? I gotta know now.
It is a humanoid.
Humanoid, so it's not necessarily human. I thought human.
No, they are mostly protected as humans. But as a DM, you can, like, worshippers of Myrkul can be any race they want.
Oh, I thought human. I thought we were going to do human. All right.
No, if you want to do any other race, we can still
Well,
do it.
we were trying. Maybe a bit of a mixture. I mean, they're like partly into the woven dead kind of circle. I see them being a little bit to it necromancy / I'm gonna sew and stitch better body parts onto myself. So maybe something interesting like that. Has to be a character to remember for sure. So maybe she found herself. Oh, that would be perfect. Just had the idea. I'm gonna pitch it to you. So the whole what if this woman in her youth had a doll as to how humans were supposed to look like, or whatever race she was at the time. I believe human would be best suitable for this one. And I'm not gonna call it Barbie, but it has to do with Barbie, and so she's sort of building upon herself instead of, just to look more beautiful. Only her concept of looking more beautiful is quite the project.
Ooh, that's... I think we can really work with that indeed, and especially because Myrkul is also sort of the god of decay in some sort.
Yeah, so every part that was once considered beautiful, like she was wearing it, like maybe she had some fins or pieces of fin sewn to her ears from a triton. Sadly, it went rotting because, no match.
Mm-hmm.
It's like, and now it's like all lumpy and stuff, like the results of it.
Actually, I think that would work perfectly for a Necromite of Myrkul, because they themselves, just like Myrkul, try to search out knowledge, and sometimes those knowledge is used to sort of try to stop the decaying part of themselves. And indeed, this individual did it by trying to look as beautiful as she could, but you can't stop aging.
Yeah, you can't stop age really that well. I mean, and the stitching and the patching up, sometimes a part is compatible with your own DNA structure, whatever goes on in there, and sometimes it's not compatible and starts to rot. Oh, that could be why she has dark skin complexion right over here. It's rotting matter, and so it is all rotten. And then there we go. Maybe some icky hair somewhere. Would she be? She'd be wearing a mask. I mean, lady.
What Myrkul is mostly doing is like hiding in like loose, like hooded things. So we can work with that. But also she thinks she's in some kind of way very beautiful.
Yeah, I mean, she tried to be pretty, and that these are the results. I mean, come on.
Yeah. So this like last time we did the lowest rank of Val. Today we're going to do the lowest ranking of a Necromite. So we're going to work up in interest later on. But a Necromite of Myrkul, what I already mentioned, is a humanoid. It could be any race. Mostly they are humans, because humans are like a plague over the world. They're everywhere. So if something is going to be a mostly race and something, it's going to be the human.
You have to wonder about this human, because that's consistent of multiple parts from other species. Maybe the Tabaxi knows because she thought it was cute.
Yes, she started out as indeed human, but she tried to create her as beautiful as the doll as possible. And
I want to be like Dolly. Oh no. Sorry, this is too funny. I gotta focus. it's sad, but I find it wickedly funny for some reason because I'm giving her the cat nose and yeah, oh, this is sad.
Yeah, but I think it's not perfect. Like you have some parts where are really beautiful, skin is very nice, but the half of the rest is like rotting and decaying.
But she's old. I mean, she's old, so everything has gone wrinkly. Nothing is pretty anymore. Like these are the results, and it's all one big disaster.
The creature itself, they are not wearing armor, so we can do anything with the clothes that we want. Probably. She's still holding up, trying to be beautiful in some way. Maybe, I don't know. Would it be like she's hiding from what she's become? Or is she still trying to hold up the beauty?
Maybe she believes it's perfection or something. Like, when she started to notice that things went rotting and didn't fit quite well, she began to worship Myrkul, and he accepted her throughout her misery.
Actually, I think that is beautiful.
And then she began to see it as beautification, so she added more rotting parts where they shouldn't go. Don't know what's wrong with me today.
No, but that's perfect for Myrkul, because Myrkul is indeed the god of decay, and he would accept her, especially because of this.
Yeah, the whole failure of, oh, I couldn't become pretty, but... And then the realization, but you are pretty, and then and then continuing doing the most stupid experiment and mental stuff that one could come up with. Those boobies are going to be hanging.
Yeah. Okay, so yeah, so you still not. She still thinks she's beautiful, so she doesn't have to hide anything.
Nope, she wears it all full out, and she believes it. Like she's like, yeah, everything worked out. Oh man.
As she eventually is going towards like higher ups of Myrkul are spellcasters, but the lower one it hasn't. But they still need to protect themselves, and they do that in a way to also worship and respect Myrkul, as they make their own skull flail. What it says, they're actually picking like a skull from anything, probably one of their projects going on. Maybe she did it even from like
her unborn infant. I'm sorry, I'm making it cruel.
Ooh, that could be. I was more thinking about where she got a body part from. So from, okay, I like you, so I'm going to kill you right now, take a body part, and you know, I can use your skull as well. Could be. You know, you should never waste any material. Ask any necromancer.
No, not wasting anything. Okay, this may hit home a little too much for me. I'm gonna scratch the ID. No, it could be something. Oops. Not supposed to do that. I'm supposed to go with a gummy. Yeah.
Where were you going for?
Oh, just what I said earlier. Unborn. Unborn child. And not wasting anything and putting it on adornment, showing that she still has the child because it's not dead in her eyes. But as much as that story would be endearing, it hits a wee bit too close for my comfort zone, so I'm just gonna skip that part.
Yeah.
It's like it would make a good character, so I might have to brave myself and push myself over that kind of thing, but who knows? Maybe later on the stream I might change my mind, but I'm not too certain.
Yeah, but still draw anything that you're comfortable with, even though we're going into the dark side.
Oh yeah, we're going absolutely into the dark side of the matter, and I'm going to grab another reference of an old lady. Because these references over here, they're lovely. I looked up the artist behind them. But D&D artists are difficult to find. I tried to look for both images, like the original artist who created it. Could not find it.
No, they are really hard to find indeed.
Yeah, they are mentioned in the books, but then it's still a gamble like who made what, because they don't sign or put any signatures with their work.
They did a better. They haven't done it for the books, but I know, like for the creatures that are in specific stories. But I know that with the creature cards that they made from like the monster manual, there they have put the artist name under, like in tiny letters on the card. Like if you have the image, for example, for a dryad, there's the name of the artist in the corner. So I think they did a little bit of improvement with that, but indeed with the creatures of like the stories like Baldur's Gate or Tomb of Ventilation, there's still a gamble, like which artist did what.
Yep. Yeah, there is a whole thing again. Alright, save myself a little bit of time. I'm also gonna steal some color palette over here from this face. I'm just starting over it a little bit. No worries, I'll just save it in a previous layer.
Oh.
You have light coming this way. I don't want her to have a bit of a sweet face to begin with, but I want to improve upon that after I'm done.
Then I'm going to talk a little bit more about the creature itself. We already talked about the armor class. No armor, nothing of interest there. Because it's a humanoid, the speed is 30 feet. This can change, of course, if you're gonna do like a wood elf Necromite of Myrkul or a dwarf Necromite of Myrkul. But the normal one is 30 feet. Interesting, but there is like in the stats itself, there's like a peak in intelligence, which also connects to the lore delving part of those cultists. Because their intelligence has a 16, which is really high. Because I think the one of like the Night Blade that we did last time only had the highest score in dexterity, and it was 15. So a 16 is like a higher, and it doesn't stop there. The Necromite of Myrkul also has a Constitution of 15, and that one is really interesting because they are. Because Myrkul is a god of decay, so you would expect that maybe their constitution goes lower as well, continue with the decay, but actually their constitution is getting stronger.
Probably because they're replacing their part for undead part or something like that. Just, immortality, I'm becoming a lich. And they don't look so fancy, they just look dead.
Indeed, if there's like any of like the followers of the Dead Trees becoming a lich, it's definitely the followers of Myrkul. They're going for lore, they're going for stop decaying, indeed, almost immortality itself. So indeed, if anyone is going to become a lich, it's them.
Yeah, probably them.
They don't have any negative scores. They do have a +1 in their dex as well. Which you can...
No armor, right? I mean, they're more flexible.
Yeah. Even at that old age, because they have to be in shape, like, to do their stuff. They want to live forever. They're working with it. They get a proficiency on their arcana, which is logical. They're eventually becoming spellcasters, anything like that. It's logical that they've tried to find lore in that part. They also have a proficiency in religion, which is also an intelligence-based score, so I'm not surprised by that one.
Religion is rarely used by any DM. Like, when are you making a religion spell check? Lately, I've actually brought it upon myself to use that when people are communicating with their deity. Like, at first I thought, like what you taught me, RedOneArt, like, going for the Constitution, but then I was like, but we also have religion, so that makes more sense.
It is indeed a very good one to use religion to communicate with it.
Yeah.
Maybe I'm gonna keep that one as well in my adventures.
It's like, yeah, Constitution doesn't feel right over there. I mean, it has a purpose, Constitution, but you already have the Constitution saving throws when there's affection or things that threaten your health. And when are we going to use the religion button if not for religion itself? Talking to gods.
Yeah, it is indeed not a very used skill, because most adventurers don't like conclude religion that much. You do have, sometimes you can go in like villages or cities, you can go to like shrines and anything, and there you can make a religion check to see how you should approach those things. And I think we should also use religion checks more like in the passive sense. So if you're seeing someone doing something that you know that they are a follower of something because of what they are doing, it's more a passive kind of skill, but I think it should be used as well.
Yeah, but that's for the NPCs, and I mean more for the players to do something.
Yeah, that was what I was meaning. I was like, if you are encounter an NPC which is doing something specific, like really, like I can't think of something. Oh, maybe like planting a flower on a specific time on a specific place, that kind of thing.
Haha, Ella, sorry.
And, yeah, I was thinking about Ella as well. And that like result, if you're having a proficiency in religion, you can either make an active check on that, or your DM can provide you with information based on your passive score, if you would know what kind of religion that person, that NPC has. They would not buy. But indeed, religion is a less used skill. It should be used more.
Yeah, for players who are playing a cleric or thinking about playing a cleric, negotiate with your DM, be a negotiator, and go for that religion option. Like, if I'm gonna pray to my deity, can I please use the religion check or something like it to have some fun? Bet they wouldn't mind.
Yeah, and it worked out really well. We used indeed the constitution check, but to make it a check to even see if you connect with your deity is a very interesting one, because a deity can't always connect with you, but if it succeeds, it has extra like impact on the player.
Yeah, so rather than constitution, let's use that religion button right over there. It has a function. It exists, so you better use it.
For the Necromite of Myrkul, religion check is a +5, same as the Arcana, because it has the same proficiency and it uses the same skill, intelligence in this case. It also mentions the passive perception, which is then understandable because the wisdom modifier is 11, which means a +0, and he doesn't get any proficiency in there. What is interesting, that even though if he or she is a human, they are speaking multiple languages. That also probably is a result of their high intelligence, but it's an interesting one because next to common, which almost every race is speaking, they also know infernal and abyssal.
That's unholy.
Yes. And it's an interesting to think about, because like from the other, like the Night Blade that you had, that one only speaks the languages it knows, like from its racial. This one actually is diving deeper into probably also lore of the undead kind, and speaking abyssal and infernal as a result of that.
I'm also sorry for the grandma that I took from probably a movie. Her face does seem familiar. I am not exactly drawing this woman's face. I'm just, picking up some colors and having a solid reminder like, oh yeah, wrinkles. Something I'll be having soon too. Won't take that long.
Soon. I think this still takes like many years for you to get wrinkles, or if you stress too much, maybe earlier, but...
You mean for yourself?
Mm-hmm. But also for you. You have also very many years to go.
I'm not counting them.
No, you shouldn't. Like... but still celebrate every year. That's awesome.
No, I refuse. I just don't acknowledge it. It doesn't exist. I'm like the Necromite over here. It doesn't happen to me, okay? Pass. I'm in denial. No, I just don't like celebrating my birthday. That's it.
Luckily, we like to do it a little bit in our Dungeons and Dragons sessions.
Yeah. I don't mind celebrating someone else's birthday, but once mine is up, I swear, if I have enough coinage, I'll probably have a holiday spent in a far, far away country, and only come back when everything is settled down.
Actually, that wouldn't be a bad idea, even for celebrating if you do celebrate it. It's nice to like go away on your birthday.
True that. Drink some cocktails on some faraway beach. Have a beach episode.
Oh. Yes, that would be perfect. Do you think this Necromite that we're drawing right now celebrates her birthday?
I think every year, because then she gets to add in another piece.
Ooh, yeah.
She would be one of those people who wants to force other people to celebrate their birthday too, because it's their right.
Mm-hmm.
and each passing year means you become smarter and smarter, like wisdom.
Mm-hmm.
And she probably would look
in
down.
some way more beautiful.
Yeah, to her, yes. Like, not a beauty piece.
Mm-hmm.
And she wouldn't take it from the living. No. She thinks of herself as fair and just. She goes grave digging. They're already dead.
Mm-hmm.
They're not using it.
No. And we can use the...
Yeah, she wants to use it, so, at least that's what I imagine her to be doing. Believing that she's beautiful and fair and just and everything, and meanwhile, got her priorities all mixed up.
Yeah, but can you blame her by following Myrkul?
Well, she was probably doing this before following Myrkul. It just got a little worse when following Myrkul. Like, he's the enabler in her story.
Mm-hmm.
Should have told her off, like, no, bad.
But instead said, yes, do
it! It's like the little devil.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, I don't know the colors anymore. Oop, hold up. I'm gonna think.
So why we're drawing the Necromite right now, right after the Night Blade, do we want to continue with like the Cultist? Not really the case. Actually, the Necromite you encounter in the same fight you're encountering the Night Blades. At the front of like the entrance of the bathhouse if you're going there at night. The Necromite is when the fight starts, the Necromite is still inside the massage room, where the secret entrance
taking
is
her beautification thingy. Like, I just made myself gorgeous, so I need a massage to rub that skin part in there. No. Yeah. Oh, I can envision this. This is too bad. No. Oh, my eyes.
And I think that's a perfect place for her to start, indeed, with together with the story that we now created for her. But also, as she is, what I'm looking at her actions, she has two actions. She has her skull flail, and she has
Thank you, D-Fox Gaming!
A Claws of the Grave. The skull flail is a melee weapon attack. It's very interesting that they say that, because of the flail, you should say that's more of a ranged one. I don't know how they imagine it, but they said it is a melee weapon attack with a reach of 5 feet. So I think they're gonna sling it only a little bit. But the flail is working on strength. which Necromites don't have. They are essentially spellcasters towards wizards.
It could work on dexterity too. It really depends.
Not sure about that. I'm gonna check that later. But that's why they only get a +2 on their to hit, is that they're going on this case on strength, even though their dexterity is a +1. So I really have to check, because I think that the flail is only on strength. So they got a +2 to hit. Not very interesting. It is a 1d8 bludgeoning damage if they hit, but their to hit is really low. But they also have an action that's called Claws of the Grave. It is a ranged spell attack, which has a +5 to hit because it's working on their intelligence, plus their proficiency bonus. It has a range of 90 feet. And when they hit, it is 2d4 + 3 necrotic damage. And I think that suits the situation, or like her starting position, but also her stats way more. I do not really understand their skill of flail, except that it symbolized their worship to Myrkul.
Hold up.
And like, it should be a little bit of defense if like one of the players comes into melee range. But the spell attack Claws of the Grave, I think they got a little bit of chill touch. I think they go a little bit with that, but then
do understand the flail, by the way. I do.
Yeah?
Yeah, absolutely. It's religious.
Yeah,
It could be like a religious aspect. I mean, you could put a smoker in it, like one of those incense thingies that the priest always uses, like betting around. But it also dates back to it a wee bit more of a religion. I'm gonna say Crusaders and Nightly Knights and that sort of stuff, the Holy Knights and all the religion thingy in the Christianity corner, but also not in their corner. It's a bit of a weapon with a religious kind of undertone to it, I believe. Correct me if I'm wrong, but yeah. It is a type of weapon I'd see an old-fashioned monk probably bat around with. You know, one of the chubby ones?
Oh, yeah. And I think it could be multifunctional as well, as not all humanoids do have dark vision. Maybe they put lights in it, just like Myrkul is lighting up the eye socket from the skull that he's creating, from this like burning of
this one over there. That's kind of like a flail, ish. This thing.
Yeah, they are making flails like.
It gives light, so does that.
Mhm. Yeah, so I think then the flail is they can attack with it, but I think it's indeed more multifunctional, like either a light or like the incense what you were talking about. But it's still an action on there. But in battle, I think they prefer, especially when they are next to the Night Blades, which are melee preference. I think she stays a little bit out of melee fight, uses her action to do Claws of the Grave, which should be like the child touch. I think it's a little bit, because I see the necrotic damage, I see that it's a ranged spell attack. Only the damage is a little bit different, as this is 2d4 plus your spellcaster modifier, and normally it is 1d8, correct me if I'm wrong, plus your spellcasting oh no, without your, because it's a cantrip. So this one is a specific thing that you get the spellcasting modifier with it.
Alright, so but is there any more knowledge aside from stats for Necromites? I mean, there was a gentleman that has an image, but yeah.
It says that a follower of Myrkul wields a flail that has a skill replacing the normal flail striking hat. Now, that we already know. Necromites are the lowest ranking, who has not yet mastered arcane magic and rely on their flails in battle, which I don't understand a little bit, because they have claws.
They have yet to learn.
We talked about.
Yeah, but magic is not infinite; it's finite. The energy is finite. So yes, They have to rely on their flail. It makes sense, though. So I do understand.
Next to that, cultists of Myrkul study rituals that allow them to force the souls of the dead into service, compelling them to answer questions and share forgotten lore. They seek out arcane secrets in ancient ruins and attempt to steal spellbooks and other tomes from wizards outside of the cult.
Bunch of thieves.
Yes.
Bunch of thieves. I see this wizard going over the streets like, oh, stole my spellbook. And one of the Necromites from Myrkul being added again.
Like for every wizard who ever loses a spellbook, that's such a problem. Because you only know the prepared spells. So if you're ever gonna write up your spells again, you only can do the prepared spells that you did for that day. And anything else, if you don't find your spellbook back, it's lost and you have to start over again.
Not to inspire players to play super smarty party and book your DM, but there is a spell that allows you to copy any bloody book. There is a thing for this, and if you make sure that the book that you write in your spellbook is linked to another book hidden at a location only you know where of, some tomb, I don't know what forsaken land you decide to hide this away from, but mention to it your DM that you're hiding it and stashing it away at the location, of course with good negotiation, and then you have a backup.
Yes, always make a backup of your spellbook if you're playing a wizard. Always do that.
Yeah, or don't be risky and frisky. I mean, really depends. Also depends on your DM. Some DMs may not allow you to make this copy. It's like, yeah, how are you gonna get the materials? Like, yeah, that's in-game, that's gathering. So you gotta grind and do a thing, but most DMs will be merciful, I believe.
Lately, you also have another way of doing the spellbook. We have one of those players now in the party, and that is using your body as a spellbook.
Oh, yeah. That one is as old as Tales. I mean, many people before him did that.
Yes. But there's always a sort of debate on that, because you can't read all the points on your body.
No, if it's on the back of your neck, no, you're not going to be able to read it. And really depending on your DM again, maybe those incantations are like spells, and like the tattoos disappear from the body after the spell has been cast. It would be annoying because you'd have to be painfully tattooed continuously in order to do some spell casting, but hey.
Yeah, and the same is with if you are in battle, you get, for example, a scratch right through one of your spells, or a burn mark.
Yeah.
How does that affect the spell that you're using?
You won't be able to read it, so as a DM, I would say you'd lose that spell. And everything you can't read and has been placed at a location where your eyes cannot, see your skin is not readable, so it's not gonna work. Lovely that you have that spot right over there, you have an incantation or something, but you're not going to be able to read it, and someone else would have to help you out, and it has to be someone who can read Arcana or understand the language.
Yes, because indeed, how a spellbook mostly works is you're writing the spell in your own way how it works. So a spellbook, even though you have the same spell, works differently for another wizard.
Oh, I have the best idea. If I'm ever going to play a wizard again, I'm going to be bugging the DM at a point. I'm going to have a spellbook that is a mimic. Ha! A mimic spellbook. Yes! No one will dare steal that.
Immediately I'm thinking about the Monsterly Monster book of Harry Potter.
Oh yeah, that one. Nom 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 nom.
Indeed, nobody is trying to steal that one.
No one's going to try to steal my spellbook. It's a mimic.
Although, if somebody's getting scared and attacks it can damage your spells.
Yeah, it could damage the spellbook, but then again, it's still it works. It ain't crazy.
True.
And you have to feed it, so otherwise it's gonna be grumpy.
Yeah. Be careful. Feed your pet mimic.
Yeah, really do. And spend some time with them because they're grumpy little bastards, and you don't want to get them mad.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. For the followers of Myrkul, the only thing that I can tell more than what we already discussed is that mostly they take, if they need a job, they take a job like Undertaker. Why? Because they're very close to fresh
Oh, that would be her
corpses.
perfect job. So she'd be able to get the body shop working. Like, oh, I need a part. Oh, and she'd be there as the Undertaker, like helping the family, and then there's a beautiful part that she would like.
Yeah,
of
she
course,
sees everything.
yeah. She'd not tell it, but she'd do it.
Does he know how to hide it? Because he's the one taking care of all this.
Yeah, she's burying people.
Well, we do now have a really nice NPC though. We do have her background story, how she became a follower of Myrkul, what her like sort of normal job is next to being a cultist of Myrkul. Yeah.
Yeah, I'm going to give her a bit of a nose that is a wee bit gone. Maybe a fat
Yeah,
off
we
or
still
something.
have to get the decaying in there.
So she'd not show up at all times, and perhaps uses a spell among common public when performing her duties to give way that she actually, pretending to have a nose.
Oh, simple spell of disguise self, or...
No, then again, she is proud of her being, so why would she? Maybe she's one of the people that works backstage in the graveyard, like more of the grave digger, like instead of the real official Undertaker parts, like partaking in the more I'm gonna, bury the whole thing and you don't have to see me, I work behind the scenes.
Oh yeah, that worked perfectly.
Maybe she did try to work up front, but she got told off.
Yeah. A lot of people got a little bit scared. Even like little children. Especially.
Yeah, especially the little children. I mean, that is screaming. Today I had a couple of neighbor kids. They wanted to play a game. They told me like, "Oh yeah, we got this pineapple cup right over here. We want to trade it for something because we're playing this game." And I had to scour through the household to find something. I find a dinosaur puzzle that hadn't been used yet, so I gave it to them. And I didn't take the cup that they wanted to trade for it. Just gave them more to trade, and I got rid of some stuff.
Oh, that's actually really nice.
Yeah, it was my whole intention. Like, I'm not gonna take more junk into the household. I'm not gonna trade junk for junk. I'm gonna get rid of junk. I gotta play my cards right.
Right, that reminds me actually of King's Day. And King's Day reminds me of something you made.
Oh yeah, the sword of the Leonin King. Did you see it?
Yes, and I just love it. And I'm going to search for it right now because I want other people to see it as well. Sansji made a beautiful art piece. Can you tell a little bit about it? How you made it? Why?
I made it for King's Day and inspired it on the Empire sword that we have in the Netherlands. A little bit, nothing too much, nothing too extreme. Added a wee bit of orange, and I thought the Dutch spirit is lions. And what do we have in D&D? A Leonin. So we have a Leonin King and the epic sword. Nice. Came up with a couple of stats that would go with that, along with some fire damage. And the Leonin's Roar, which is a racial ability, and I thought if a non-Leonin is wielding this, it's nice. And for a Leonin, he has the ability twice a day instead of once. So that's also nice. I figured, along with some other goodies that are packed into it.
I only saw the Oh, okay. Yeah, I'm reading
It's
it right
on
now.
Duchies and Dragons.
Yeah, I put the link in the chat for anyone who is interested to look like
yes,
to even,
Haditi.
like, just want a glimpse. Or if you want to support Sansji by doing making more of this, you can even buy it from it. You get
absolutely.
The PDF with it that describes all this, like the abilities and stuff.
Yep, I also made the layout for the PDF myself. I figured why not go a little extra fancy. So it's going to be a layout that's going to be used more often.
Hello, Blessed Fox. Nice for you to join as well.
Hey, hey, hey.
If you're looking at the art and think, what a lovely old lady, then yes, that's correct. We're making a very lovely old lady of some sort. Or at least she thinks she's a very lovely old lady.
Oh yeah, absolutely. She believes she's super fantastic, the best, and very pretty. Yeah, time is running a little bit low, so I'm just I noticed that people sometimes use a lot of grey skin, as do here, to give more of that undead feel, or going straight up green, blue, yabba-dee-yabba-die. So I might have a bit of an ID. Let me duplicate. And here. Book.
Are you gonna blend the layers together?
No, not yet. I'm still busy. I'm working on one layer, usually, and right now I'm just doing some quick color shading. Blending happens after the fact.
Yeah, I'm still so impressed that you're gonna do this in like 1 hour. This is like
I know something.
I have the feeling that after 1 hour you still have a stick figure.
That's alright, don't worry. It's a whole lot of practice. It's not easy.
Yeah. I'm happy that I can just talk about stats, because that's what I love. Stats and history. The colors do work really well. You're starting to get this creepy vibe over her.
Absolutely. This is a lady you don't want to come across in the night. Even though she's friendly, she's actually friendly. Her whole personality is, oh, I'm just a wonderful person. She does rub corpses, and she probably reeks a bit and doesn't look, friendly.
Mm-hmm.
She might be one of the friendlier Necromites from Myrkul.
Yeah, I think so. Yeah, it's not her nature to just kill everything, because Myrkul, everything is going to die eventually. So
yeah, they'll come to Myrkul by themselves. I can wait.
Mm-hmm.
And then I'll collect. Pretty, yeah.
It's more that if you're gonna use her in this situation with the bathhouse, she's there on a mission to protect the secret entrance. She does have to help into the fight.
Oh yeah, she absolutely will. But she will also offer them, you can go now and I'll forgive your horrible deeds. Or stand here and I'll collect your body parts a little earlier than I had in mind.
Yes. oh my god, like, I don't know, like, the layout of Baldur's Gate, but do you know that we now also have one of the Undertakers that's, like, working there? We are building Baldur's Gate as well, next to just designing it. We are also...
We're building the entire Baldur's Gate community. That's what I like. Yeah, that's the thing. I like that. And to me, I know Sassar. Yeah?
Just like with Jabaz and Dolly, like, who are living there.
Those two. They're cute.
Wow. Oh, sometimes we're really coming up with good ideas. Last time it was a one-shot about a murder mystery where you discovered, like, the
the murder mystery of the victim of the Night Blade.
And today we're gonna build a little bit of Baldur's Gate.
Oh, the headless victims, that could be the... Yes, lovely indeed. Bayama, welcome. It's like, in another video I talked about the whole pink, like purple, pink, green, that has a vibe, and they're very good opposites. And they work in certain situations that are either in sci-fi or this one. This is where it works.
Why do they work so well together? Because they're
opposites. It's like blue and orange. They're opposites. In the color wheel, you can actually just, grab the color wheel. Opposite. Oh, that's not opposite. Yellow. Hold up, a little bit more yellow. IKEA. Heck yeah, and we have turquoise and red. Yeah, on the color wheel, those opposites work really well.
Nice to know for any artist, or at least a beginner artist, to know.
Oh yeah, absolutely. Like, I can always spend more and more details on her, but I feel like I won't do her much justice, because I'm running so low on time, so I'd need several hours to actually make something more defining out of this whole image. But yeah, if you'd like, you can also commission me for some personal art for your campaigns. Have any ideas? I'm open for that too. And you know where to find me on Twitch. There's also RedOneArt with the lovely unboxing videos.
Yeah, tonight we're not gonna, because the unboxing is not delivered to me yet, so we're gonna do that next week, hopefully. So tonight we're gonna play Darkest Dungeon, where you make the decisions of the team I bring, which quest we're gonna do, that kind of stuff.
That sounds nice. I hope you have plenty of viewers.
Hope so too. Would be nice. And otherwise, I'm still playing Darkest Dungeon, which is a lovely game, so...
Yeah. Yeah, I do that too.
Like, for the ones who don't know it, just look up some images, because the art style in it is very nice. I know that there is now also a Darkest Dungeon 2 that I still have to delve into. That one is a 3D like 3-dimensional version of the first one, so I still really have to try it before giving a full criticism about that, because they do still try to hold on to the 2D style that they had in the first one, so I have to see if that will really work. But going on later, I still want to at least try to finish as far as I can into the first one before buying the second one. I see that there are 4 more minutes on the clock.
Yeah, we're really on the clock right now. Ooh, I figured her name would be Lorelei.
Lorelei and
Lorelei, Laura and Lai. Wait.
Ah, yeah.
And hard on the.
I think that would be a little inside sort of Easter egg for the DM to put there, because it starts with lore, which is specifically in the
Yep, she collects lore. She's a hoarder of lore in all sorts of beauty enhancements. That's her hoard, her treasure. That's her thing.
Yes.
And yeah, she probably has a lot of studies in which she's going to describe or describes how she takes the ears of an elf or combines it with X or C or B, whatever she finds, and then applies it on herself.
Mm-hmm. And she knows probably also a lot of perfume, because
yep,
you
perfume,
know that
all the beauty things,
yeah.
and ooh. Yeah, the perfume part, oof. I can only imagine if things start rotting. Yeah.
Yeah, but either she's being used to it, or she knows so much about perfume.
I think she'd know a lot about perfume. I mean, she's getting a massage. I mean, ugh. No one would want to touch her, and even if she paid that much, no one would want to if she wouldn't be able to hide it a wee bit.
Mm-hmm. True. Yeah, I think indeed the knowledge of perfume would fit her as well. Lorelei.
I think other necromites might attack on sight, but she's one to give you 5 seconds to bugger off before she actually goes into a attack. That doesn't mean that she would skip her battle round, though. If she's got one, and she's going to use it. She will probably charge in when need be.
Yeah, she is a devoter of Myrkul. She's not gonna
Be pushed over by some wimps or non-religious people. Some how do you call it again?
Oh,
atheists. Heretics. Now what's the word?
Or worshippers of less.
Oh yeah, lesser deities.
Yes. Because Myrkul is the one who's judging you at the end. Or at least using you in the end.
Yeah. And she's part of that pot. Well, how old would Lorelei be?
Ooh.
112 years old.
Yeah, I think so. She knows how to stay alive.
Yeah, she still has the aging part on her, but hey, so far so good, right, lady? Oh my. Alright, I'm just gonna go save this point right over there and rest my pencil. Right, got anything more to add up?
No, I think, yeah, they're, we talked about the thing what we did last time, the sword that you made, which I was very curious about, and I think it was a lovely surprise when I got the link to it.
Let me open it just real quick. Hold up. Boom, 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 boom. Well, Dinkelberg. I gotta go to a file. It's layout. Where did I hide it? Ah, there. And I have to turn this off, and I was still messing around with this, and somewhere over the rainbow. Ah, there. And we can add the sword. There we go.
Do you see? Look how pretty it is.
Yeah, that sword took some action. And also, to shortcut my own time, I'm working on this. I use in AI and painted over that using my own artwork, 3D AI, to help me out, and then paint over that again. Same goes for the Leonin in this piece. The background I did myself, of course, with some brushes to speed things up and get where I want it. For the nerds among us, there are actually some signs that you might have seen on D&D Beyond. And they are the schools of magic, those symbols, and they match with the stats of the sword.
Oh, lovely details in there.
Yep. And of course the lions, because, you know, Dutch.
Mm-hmm.
Back to where there are lovely misses. And that's how we're going to end this session.
Yes.
Alright, see you guys next time.
Hey.